Hi, I'm Kevin Douglas. I am the College Talent Manager for Amway Corporation. And what that means is I'm responsible for bringing in talent to the organization. And throughout the course of my professional career, which spans over 25 years, and I can tell you exactly how much, I've interviewed hundreds of people across the country. And what I want to talk to you today about is what you can do to set yourself apart from your competition, so that you put yourself in a very favorable position to be successful when you go and interview for that next opportunity. So all you need to do, listen, take some notes, apply these principles, and your odds will be greatly improved in securing that next opportunity. And what we're going to talk about right now is what you need to do when you get ready to go to a career fair. And when you look at a career fair, it's kind of like when you're getting ready to either play a sporting event or play a musical instrument at a concert. You get in your zone. You practice before you go, so you don't just walk in cold. And these are some of the things that you can do to get ready. What you want to first do is when you create your resume, review it for mistakes. When you look at your resume as you're creating it, things just don't appear to be wrong because you've looked at it so many times. So let a friend review it before you go to the career fair and make sure there are no mistakes in it. When you approach an employer, there's several things that you want to be aware of. First, you have one shot to make that good first impression. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it's so true. You have a very short period of time to entice the employer to want to learn more about you. Starts with a handshake and good eye contact. When you shake a hand, remember, it's not a competition to see who has the strongest handshake. You just need a mildly firm handshake. That's all you need. Don't have to crush someone's hand. And you want to look the employer in the eye because it shows that you're serious. I've talked to numerous people at career fairs, and they look at the ground, they look off to the side, they don't shake a hand, and it just starts the whole conversation out on a very weak point. When you introduce yourself, make sure you talk about, obviously, who you are, and that 30-second commercial needs to be developed, which goes over why you picked your major, why you're interested in this opportunity. For example, if you're a finance major, you would say, "Hi, I'm Kevin Douglas. I major in finance. And I picked finance because it's the backbone to any organization. Financials drive the company. And it also has far-reaching impacts from a local economy to a global economy. And I wanted to be a part of that field." And then simply talk about some of the things that you've been involved with at your university, which talks about your seriousness of that major, different organizations that you joined to show that you're serious about the discipline and to give you additional experience within that discipline. And that's your 30-second commercial. You also want to ask, after you give your 30-second commercial, how can your skills benefit the organization? The employer will tell you, and then you want to reiterate those points that they bring up. Make sure they understand that you have those skill sets that they're looking for. Then you also want to maybe ask, what are your overall corporate objectives? Is it that you want to continue to grow? You want to expand globally? Is it that you're looking at different markets to go into? You're looking at different products to develop? Now ask those kind of questions. They're a little more thought-provoking, and it helps the employer realize that you really are thinking more strategic about an opportunity. Then what you want to do is you want to sit back and listen to the answers. The next thing you want to do, before you approach the employer, you want to do some research. Now at a career fair, you can't research all companies because there's just too many. So my suggestion would be pick 5 companies that are your top 5 picks. Take the time, do some research on them. Find out what markets they work in, what products do they manufacture, how large are they, how are they structured, what different parts of the country are they in. All those details. Then approach the employer and just mention a couple of details in conversation. But now, before you approach your top 5 picks, you want to approach the other companies that you didn't research. And how you approach them is, when you walk up to them, simply say, "I didn't have an opportunity to research your company. Could you tell me a little bit about what you do?" What that does, it starts getting you in your zone, starts getting you warmed up. Then go to your top 5 picks. Then you're ready, you're in your zone, you've gotten warmed up, you can make that good positive first impression. The other thing you want to do is you want the employer to ask for your resume. Most people, when they go to a career fair, they shove their resume in the face of the employer. And what you want to do is you want to create such an impression that the employer actually asks you for your resume. When that happens, you know you've done an incredible job in enticing the employer to want to know more about you. The next thing you want to do is think about what happens at the end of that conversation. Now, granted, remember, this conversation, all this is happening in about a 3-minute time period, 3 to 5 minute time period. You want to close the conversation by asking, will they be interviewing after the career fair or in the very near future? Do I apply online, or is there a person that I send my resume to? How would I follow up? Should I contact you? Do you have a business card? If they're not the person to contact, who would it be? And I can tell you what happens is I give my information out to numerous people, and maybe 1% of the people actually call me and follow up. Take the time. My advice to you, take the time to follow up with the person you interviewed with. That'll definitely set yourself apart. And then when you follow up, simply state, I enjoyed our conversation, would like an opportunity to come in and talk to you more about my background and find out more about the different opportunities that you may have.